Welcome back again to the single player survival world. We're standing in front of what we left off last episode, but a lot of things have changed because of mostly because of derpage, to be honest. But hey, they look good, and I'll show you exactly what's going on here before we carry on today and make the interiors of our defensive outpost looking good. Take it that way. That's what we're going to be doing. So first of all, let's get started here. Walking up, in fact, from this angle. Let's just use this angle because this is quite a pretty angle. Standing here, we put in that tower and that tower, or those two buildings. It's not really towers, buildings there. And that was in the last episode, along with the courtyard in the middle. A few things about the courtyard. People said it might be a bit small, but I think considering what I'm thinking, it's fine. It's not like a whole army is standing here ready for battle. It's probably about 10 to 20 people. So it'll work. And besides that, this new tower over here, this is a tower, sticks out behind here. And that was another thing which we said we were going to do, but we didn't record ourselves doing it because of derpage, of course. And if you wonder what this derpage is, occasionally people forget to turn their mics back off of silent or muted. Just take it that way. But yeah, let's get started. We've got this beautiful place looking here. Look at this. This whole piece here is now the backdrop for where this little piece. What is this? This would be a little bit of a stage for the person conducting the drill, standing here, yelling at people, trying to get the morale up, I guess. And this area at the back was something I wanted to play around with, a little bit of a veranda sort of thing, walking around here. And what would be the case is that you could really enter into the barracks from this way. So you would enter here into the barracks. Still got a lot of work to do, but they're here. And not only from the barracks, you could also not the stairs that we're going to be using. From the barracks, you can also walk along the top and look out again in this way. So another veranda or balcony up the top here. I thought that would be something that I kind of looked at this area and felt that it needed. And it works, in my opinion. So that's what we've got there. Now, the flag you may be wondering about. I'm wondering about it too. So tell me what you think about that. Do we keep the flag? Do we not keep the flag? There's one part of me that really likes the flag and another part that thinks I may have made it a bit too derpy. Now, the look of the shape of it's actually pretty cool. But the problem is we can't put red in here with it actually working necessarily along the lines of these banners. So besides the fact that if I put one little red dot to kind of emphasize that piece in the middle, you see that piece in the middle of the banner, it looks a little bit like a Japanese flag. If I do red all along, it looks like a flag from England. So I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna go with, but we'll kind of stick with this for now, and we'll mess around with it a bit later. The only other thing I can think of is maybe getting a bit of gray in there. I know it sounds kind of weird, but we could perhaps just put a bit of gray along the sides to break up the look of it. But that's for a later stage. So let's keep going here. Actually, I've just thought we could even maybe even put in a bit of red concrete. I thought I saw myself one of these guys. You come back here. There. And may as well get rid of him now, because what happens is you leave him, you come back, and you got yourself a problem. So all dealt with. Now the next part about this, and in fact, actually, let's just take a little bit of flight out that way, is I also got the side done and most of the back done. So this over here is going to all be terraformed in terms of building terraform. Not terraformed in terms of terraforming, in terms of actually just pretending like there was a hill over here that we had to build up, which is why there's another level, and this will have a walkway down it. That's why these aren't anchored into the ground just yet, but it will be when we get the walkway. The ground's going to anchor into it. Take it that way. The ground will be anchored into that. And then around the back here, look at this. This is basically a bit of lazy building in the front that had to be fixed. And what I've done is I've gone for a wide wall, broken up with a little bit of a balcony there. That balcony was placed in there to break up this wall. Think about that. Weird things that you do in building that might seem like I put the balcony there for the balcony's sake, but I put the balcony for the wall's sake. And then, of course, just filling in these pieces, getting that a little bit better textured. That's not a big deal. That's pretty simple. But overall, I think this thing's starting to turn out quite well. Besides that, we've also got into a lot of other cool stuff on the other side of this city. Of course, there's a whole other side on that side, which we've neglected a little bit. And I mentioned quite a few episodes ago that it would be great to go and see the people living in these places, get them all furnished, get them moved into their houses. We've had some unfurnished houses for a very long time, and I think it's about time we moved some of those people in. So we got up to that in a stream recently. And I've got a lot of things to tell you guys about how much I've learnt, at least, with getting stuff inside of houses actually looking good. Because Interiors and myself, they don't go too well. Let me just put it that way. I'm not the most confident of interior builders. I don't know why I zoomed in so closely there. Look at that. That's all we needed to do. But yeah, interiors have been quite a struggle for me. I'm definitely significantly more comfortable building outsides, and exteriors, I guess, would be the word. But interiors, now that we've got a bit of a grasp of the concept of interiors, I think we're doing quite well. And here they are. These are the townhouses that I've built very, very long ago, and we just have not got back to them. We said we were going to do it. We haven't done it, but now we have. Take it that way. We haven't done it until just before this episode. So going down here, I'll show you what I've done, because of course these interiors are something that I've learned a lot from. So I guess if you've got some questions, we could probably help out as well with that. So walking in here, this is the house of the grand residence of Sir Pickles. If you guys wonder who Sir Pickles is, by the way, it's the person who does a lot of the law in this in our Discord for this place, and not only that, also cleans up the YouTube comments out of a lot of trash. Let's put it that way. A lot of stereotypical YouTube comments. Let's put it along those lines. So here we go. A nice little kitchen. Very simple. In fact, these new note blocks, these aren't the standard texture note blocks. These are the new default note blocks, which we're testing out. Work fantastically for some of these things over here, some of these counters. So that was a perfect thing over there. Besides that, I guess I could actually do this as well. This little refrigerator sort of thing, or really just a cupboard. Looks pretty cool as well. I thought that was a neat little thing to add in along with the stove. The stove, I was actually planning on maybe putting a redstone torch underneath there and just flicking it on and off every now and then, just so it looks like those things, the activator rail actually looks like it's doing something, as if it's on, as if the stove is turned on at least. There's just a normal little bedroom, nothing too spectacular about the bedrooms, but it's filled in. And that's important because it makes this feel a lot more homely and cozy, and feel as if people have, being Sir Pickles, has definitely moved in and feels like they enjoy their house. House number 2. And this house is pretty cool because, of course, we've done a similar thing in the kitchen. And not only that, we've also got a little bit of a fireplace, which you may be wondering if I've got fire spread turned on, and I certainly do. In fact, if we put any one of those pieces of wood one block closer, we're going to have ourselves some struggles. So if you guys ever wondered, that is the height. You can work it out. I think it's 4 blocks. What is it? 4 blocks above the fire, and also 1 block around the fire will be safe, as long as you don't go within that. That's the logic behind that, which, by the way, it does look pretty cool, that one. And then, of course, another bedroom, working closet, and then around here, a little bit of a piece around this way. Doesn't have to be anything, to be honest. I think the interior thing that I've learnt the most is really just using your walls to break up the interior as much as possible. You see this well, this was coincidental because we needed a spot to walk through here, but breaking that up with a little bit of a squiggle makes this place look more interesting than what it actually is. Just a few little pieces that make a big difference. And then I guess we go around to the next one, which we haven't finished, by the way. We haven't finished this one on this side right here. And we also haven't finished the center townhouse, but we finished the rest of them, and I think they're looking quite good. So let's go around to the last one, which we still haven't yet moved everyone into this place. By the way, we're choosing a few people around in the streams when we do this, and specifically people who are around the community and do really cool things. I think it's quite nice to get people, at least get individuals in this world who are in the community, who also could be in the world, which I think is a neat way of doing it. Of course, the kitchen, the chandelier, the table, all looking good. Nothing actually done with walls here, but I think that worked quite well for a quaint little place. Of course, here, a bedroom, double bed this time, getting fancy. And actually, I would like to have a bit more space in some of the upcoming bedrooms to make a cool little bed, like a post bed. That would be pretty cool. And yeah, there is a closet without chests in it, but there will be chests eventually. A little bit of a room here, a chair, bolted on. And that's what these places are looking like. So that's pretty much what I've learned. I've learned a few cool things. I would like to be able to point out a few cool things that I have learned. I know I've missed a few of them, but there's definitely things to be done in the interiors, and I definitely don't want to ignore them as much as I have up till now. There haven't been many changes to the outside here, but on the inside, you can see already a bit of a green wall. Going to go do what we've learned from these things in here, to some extent, of course. Taking on the idea of keeping the interior not too large to be well, very big and unfillable, because of course things have to be within scale and also not too small as to kind of miss out on everything. We'll go into the barracks first. This place at the bottom, I'm thinking perhaps could be a good place for a long table for the people working here to eat, and also potentially taking this down here and making a little kitchen down below there. That could be a cool thing to add in here. Now, going up here, of course, is the bedrooms, and we will eventually make this roof a little bit shorter, because I think, yeah, that's a little bit too much room up to the top. So we can take that down and just cancel the rest off as dead space. And it's a very cool little staircase we got here as well. It's very important, as I say, to take out places, kind of just take them out of the play for us to do interiors. Because, of course, there's a bit more strategy than just putting down a chair and putting down another chair. Like, that's kind of simple, and, of course, that kind of gets the thought across, but I think we can maybe think a bit more into it. And of course, taking up a large portion, for instance, this entire side here of what, 5 blocks, 6 blocks, is completely accounted for. We don't even have to necessarily do anything here, and this area is accounted for, but this over here looks very boring. So we have to do something with these, and that would be dropping the roof, getting some stuff on the walls already. Makes it quite a bit better than what it does already. This is like a little broom closet that I thought we could put in here. Get rid of that there. Oh, double that up. Wow. But this is just the barracks. This is probably the least cool part. The next cool part is over here, where we go across this veranda here. We can look out the outside. There's just a random leaf block there that's just unrendered past that way. And of course, this goes into this side as well, which it all connects up. But that's a nice little piece there, nice little touch. And you go around, wall separating us here, and pulls around that way. So back to what I was saying, this area could be this entire picture from this spot here all the way up to this spot over here. That's taken care of. We don't have to do any special interior decorating. Completely cleared off, and we can do whatever the hell we want with that. So that's another little piece there. And of course, we go around, we've got a little area down here. And I've got one thing which I have to figure out now, and that is, of course, getting the staircase up to this level without having to go through the barracks. Because right now, you can do a loop and go around this way. Now, you can imagine, you're working in this building. This is where the offices are. You probably don't want to, well, here will be where the offices are. You probably don't want to be walking around forever. So I think getting a staircase, it was either over here and having offices in this area, which seemed kind of cramped, and yeah, just like offices under the staircase doesn't really make sense. So I think what we'll do is we'll make the staircase coming up from there. But there's one last place that I want to show you, and this is a very nice view. Now picture yourself working a day in these offices, doing whatever they do, and walking up these stairs. You'll walk all the way to the top. You can come take a breath of fresh air from the top, viewing out over all the defenses that will be on the end here. And you can also go ahead and go to the other one. Close that. Open that. Close that. And you can see just over here, you've got a nice view of what it will eventually be. A whole bunch of buildings. Picture the palace up there with the Queen standing out there looking out over this area. That'll be awesome. Just picture that. That's a nice little view that this will eventually be, because what's going to happen with these houses is we're going to go another level up, and the palace and all that. That would be awesome. And of course, if you want to be me, you can just jump onto the roof and look at every other view as well. But that's what's currently going on in here. And actually, just looking at this part here, it needs a window. 100% that needs a window. So you can see that's the strategy. Not necessarily just putting in windows, but filling up gaps. And I think what we'll do is we'll take that one more down and put the window in as a 3 tall window. How does that look? Yeah, it takes up that gap pretty good. That's looking a little bit boring. Just fix this up quick. Oh, nope. Like this. A little bit of a frame. Yeah, that works. And I've just realized I've got to do this as well here. Can drop, is it drop 3 down? So this is just me kind of going through, fixing up my messes from earlier, not completing everything. Yeah, that works. So nice little window. We can also probably just do something over here to frame off the bottom. And yeah, that works. That'll be fine. Just a few little pieces. Can't help myself. One there, and one there. Yeah, that's cool. So there's the window. Now what we should do is go into getting the staircase looking good. And of course, interiors are actually a very big task, and I think that's also a bit more daunting about them, is they require a lot of work for what doesn't seem like a lot that's been done. So it's always difficult to try and get a lot of it jam-packed, because there's so much stuff happening all the time. And I thought we were left with just 7 stairs. So let's give this a try. And this is one of the few times. Do you ever think of how funny it is that stairs in Minecraft, at least for me, are used less as stairs and more as roofs and chairs and other things versus stairs. It's kind of funny the way that you really could not explain that to anyone who does not understand Minecraft. That you use stairs as roofs. That's the way it is. I always think of it as kind of funny that you just kind of forget about. There we go. Let's get those in. Simple staircase, but we can make this look a lot prettier than what it is right now. So of course down here, this is the exit or entrance, depending on which way you look at it, to the stage, which you can get up over here. So the intention is not necessarily to come up this way, but you could. You could also come in through this door over here, which comes down from the barracks, and now you can go up the stairs. So I wouldn't really count this as going into the barracks, like the sleeping quarters of the barracks, where you can just come up here, walk out this way, and close the door behind you. Don't let a breeze in. So what we can do for these stairs, because they have a very boring set of stairs. Look at this. Just plain average staircase. Now, how do we take this to make it look a little bit better? One thing, and coincidentally, there's actually something over here. We don't have to account for it on the top, is going down with a little pillar over there. Now, we could be having too many pillars in, so let's get rid of this one. Yeah, I think that's a few too many pillars. So if we do something like that, and continue that on to be bolted on that way, that could work there. So you will be able to walk down this part here. We'll have probably a desk or two around here. And as you go up these, they're still looking a little bit empty. So perhaps doing this over here, and again, just getting rid of, okay. So stairs are fixed, and besides that, buildings are still floating, but we've got some people who are ready to get some work done, because we've moved in a few desks here, and we can start getting the business, or really, the defense, the defense office stuff going. Actually, I'm gonna get rid of that. We don't need that. We'll get something else there. Until then, I welcome any creeper. So this is what it's looking like. We've got ourselves some good little spots right around here. We can go sit in, and we can get to work. Look at that, a neat little chair. These are some of my favorite little things. Silly little chairs that really kind of you'll never use, besides me. Yeah, trust me, it's a nice little thing to have, despite the fact that it doesn't actually do too much. If we could get villagers or something to get stuck in those boats, that could actually be very cool. However, we need to get our zombie situation all sorted. In fact, I was told to do this with my doors, and I'm actually going to do it now. That and that. So if I press F3, it says in the right-hand side of the screen there, it says open true. So it says the door is currently open. So as soon as the zombie goes here, it thinks the door's the other way. So it should block it. It should block it off from zombies being able to come in there. So we just have to really zombie-proof the inside. We get some villagers inside there. It's a question I get asked quite a bit, and I guess it's a good one to answer. Yes, we will populate this place with villagers. It's just a matter of time. Zombie-proofing. Very important. And no, we don't want those. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to regret it as well, because it's going to take forever to break. There we go. That's fine. Little details like that. Look at that. It's a fairly simple office, honestly, but it's kind of does the trick. And I know you feel like, I don't know if it's just me, sometimes you feel like I could do more with interiors, but then I remember that I'm playing Minecraft and I've got to just kind of step back and kind of take what I get sometimes, and I feel as though that works quite well. A few things which I do want to do though, and that is going to be something that I will regret, because oak is a pain in the butt to get. And that is make a few things like this. Because if you have a look, the floor is very boring. So doing a few fake support things such as these. Oh, I've just realized. I'm going to break this and that door's going to come off. I'll get to that one later. That one's, yeah, that can wait. So a few things like this just make the floor a bit more interesting. And the same would go for the roof. So if I went up a level, I think it's actually possibly better to do from the top here, because I know where these are connecting. I can take that one along here and just switch it over to another piece of wood, which will actually connect down to the bottom as well. I would imagine quite well. Doing a little bit of something like that makes two things. First of all, on the top here, it makes the ground a little bit more interesting, and on the bottom, it means that the roof is more interesting with texture and with a bit of shape. Look at that. A little bit of shape, and that works so well just to break this area up a little bit more. Of course, it probably could do with a bit more stuff, a little bit more love in it, but you know what, it's fine. It's fine, it'll do the trick for now. And actually, I'll do these, and I'll continue this on this way, and if it has some struggles at the top, we'll deal with them eventually. But there we go. Kind of messy, but it works. And it's definitely got that office vibe to it. You can tell that these are 2 office chairs ready for people to do some work. But for today, guys, thank you very much for hanging out with me in my world. I've had a pretty fun time just decorating, getting this thing done. Let's do one quick flyover from the outside, and I feel like it's nighttime. No, it's not. Fantastic. Let's just go do a quick flyover. So, have a look. Check what's going on. Looking good. Exactly what I pictured. Tell me what you think about that flag. And thank you very much, guys. I'll see you in the next one.